So frustrating. So incredibly frustrating. Arsenal won, Leicester won. On paper, I think it's a fine result, let's be honest. We've got 4 points out of Wolves away, Leicester at home, two sides that are above us, and two teams that, if you'd have said to me before these games, would I have taken 4 points? I'd probably have taken a point. We were playing that badly a couple of weeks ago. So I've turned it around to a situation where we're looking at potentially 6 points from these two games. I think is really, really positive. And to have gotten 4, as I say, I think we can really look at that with a big, big smile on our faces because it is very positive on the spin of things. But the frustration is that we should have won this game. And it's a good frustration because we know we should have won it. We had so many chances in that first half. Lacazette had a chance, Aubameyang had a chance, Saka had a chance. It's infuriating. And all I can think about is that Lacazette header that he put right into Kasper Schmeichel's hands, anywhere but there. And it's 2-0, anywhere but there. It's so frustrating that he couldn't have put that away. But I mean, we played well in that first half. We played extremely well, and there's still so many positives to take from today's game, as we've talked about in previous fixtures and results, because we did play well and we echoed those positive signs that we've seen in the past couple of weeks. So I'm still feeling very good about things. To be honest, I'm not thinking too much about our league position. The main focus for me is the football getting better, and that's exactly what I saw the same of today. Unfortunate in the second half with the red cards, and I think there are lapses of tiredness in there as well. And as I say, a draw against this top Leicester side is by no means a bad result, so we shouldn't get too hung up on it. But, I mean, let's just keep looking forward because, I mean, as I say, getting the football right is the main thing at this point in the season. We don't really have a great deal to play for. And I think if Man City do get banned from the Champions League, then European positions go all the way up to 8th. And you would hope that we're able to finish at least 8th in the Premier League. And I mean, like I say, I'm not too bothered about where we finish. It's all about progression. It's all about seeing progress within the side. And I think Arteta's made it very clear that he wants to finish within those European places. But I think for myself and a lot of Arsenal fans, the focus is getting the football back to the standard that we need it to be rather than finishing in a specific place in the league table. But winning games is what I love to see Arsenal doing. And the frustration is that, of course, we haven't won today, especially when we had so many chances in that first half. When the football was so good, the team lineup, I think, was spot on again. This three at the back system really seems to be working for Arsenal. He gets the best out of players like Kieran Tierney. I thought Bellerin played very well today. His link-up was as good as it ever has been. The only thing that does let him down slightly is his pace. Ceballos was magnificent in the first half, as was Granit Xhaka alongside him. Kolasinac, I thought, was immense. A player that had got a lot of stick in the game against Wolves. And I think quite a lot of people were quick to criticise him, but I thought he was excellent for the time he was on the pitch today. Luiz was great, Mustafi was great. In fact, even though they did concede in the second half, which I think was inevitable given the amount of pressure we were coming under, I still think all three of them did really, really, really well. So I've only got praise for them in this game. And Martinez is ridiculous for a backup goalkeeper. A second choice. He is phenomenal. The saves he made in this game with his hands, his feet, some of the clearances he made with his head, he's ridiculously good. He is ridiculously good. And if he's to stay at Arsenal beyond the summer, or if not, I mean, we can at least command a good fee for him now. I do hope he does stay because he's undroppable at the minute. And Leno's got a real bit of competition on his hands here. So it's exciting. We haven't had two really good keepers at the club in God knows how long. So that's a big positive. We saw Lacazette lead the line today in place of Eddie Nketiah. And Lacazette, I thought, did some good things. Link up is always positive, but he does need to release the ball a lot sooner. Had chances to score that he didn't take. Did have that goal disallowed, which was marginally offside, so I think he'll feel unfortunate there. And if he makes that 2-0, I mean, this game is done and dusted. But he was in some good positions, overall positive display. But, I mean, I still can't help but feel he's going to be one of those players that might be on the radar for potentially exiting the club in the summer to raise funds for players that we do need to bring in. And I wouldn't really object to that because I feel like we can do better than him, to be honest. And at 29, is he going to get any better at Arsenal? I'm not too sure. First goal, brilliant. Danny Ceballos, first of all, with the ball to Saka. Saka playing on that right-hand side, which is becoming a bit more of a familiar position for him. Johnny Evans is anticipating that he's going to cut it back in on his favoured left foot. Instead, he doesn't. He sits Evans on the floor, plays it through to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang does what he does best. Coolly finishes it past Schmeichel to make it 1-0. And as I say, we had so many more chances to score. Schmeichel was bang on form today, as he always is. He's a top-class goalkeeper, but we'll really be ruining those chances we didn't take. It's unfortunate we couldn't make it 2-0 because then we effectively killed a game. But that second half is obviously where we really let ourselves down a little bit. Eddie Nketiah coming on with Joe Willock. taking off, I think it was Dani Ceballos and Lacazette. No, Bukayo Saka, sorry. And almost immediately gets the red card, and you're thinking immediately, where's the foul there? But upon closer inspection, I was screaming at the TV at the time saying there's absolutely no way that that's a red card. He's taken his leg away from the challenge before he's even made contact. But studs are up. It's serious foul play, and he'll be banned for 3 games now. It's reckless, and he's come onto the pitch, like a puppy off a leash, really excited to get into the game. It's definitely not meant to. It's not intentional, but it's just one of those things that's going to come with age. He's 21 years old, and he's got time to rectify these type of mistakes. And I do feel sorry for him because he's now going to miss Tottenham, City and Liverpool, 3 massive games where we will need him. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a potential front 3 now of Aubameyang, Pepe and Saka. And we might see Aubameyang play through the middle, which would be very exciting. But it does leave us a bit short up front now, because Nketiah was playing well and we were relying on him at times. He plays some very good football. And the one thing he does that Lacazette can't do is release the ball quicker. He's very good at doing that. He's very good at linking up the players around him. Lacazette, link up I do think is good, but it's releasing the ball at the right time where I think lets him down. I think if you look at that goal that we scored where Nketiah played a big part against Southampton, whereas not against Sheffield United, sorry, where Nketiah plays the ball through very quickly. I don't see enough of that from Lacazette, and that's what I really like about Nketiah's game. But unfortunately, he got sent off. Backs to the walls from there. Not much you can do with 10 men. Aubameyang, I thought, really stood out in this situation. I thought the way he tracks back, works really hard for the team, really stood out as a captain at that point. But we did concede. I mean, when you've got players of the quality that Leicester do, and credit to them and credit to Brendan Rodgers for building this fantastic side, keeping a clean sheet is going to be really tough. And to have conceded 1 in the past 4 games against the quality of opposition we've come up against, I think we can be proud with that. And there's no real shame in conceding to a player like Jamie Vardy when you're down to 10 men. Just an instinctive Jamie Vardy goal, good low cross across the box, and he finishes it with that natural instinct. But 1-1 at home to Leicester, by no means a bad result, and we've got to take the positives, the big positive being the football that we played in that first half. And I'm very confident we can beat Spurs. I don't know if I should be, but I feel like we can win that game. And if we were able to get 7 points from the past 3 games, Wolves, Leicester, Spurs, that would be brilliant. That'd be really good to see, considering when we'd just lost to Brighton, I don't think we'd have been anticipating that we'd even get 1 point out of these games. And I'm still confident we can beat Liverpool. They're champions, got nothing to play for. If we bring our A game and if we really are fighting for a European place, then we could very well win that game. And then after that, it's Watford and Villa. Should be 6 points. Don't want to take anything for granted against 2 teams that are fighting for survival, but should be 2 points. So 2 points should be 6 points, hopefully. But yeah, not a bad result by any means. Let's not get too upset by it. Frustrated, of course, as we know we should have won. But yeah, let's take the positives out of this. Other talking points today, of course, David Ornstein came out and said that Matteo Guendouzi is set to leave Arsenal Football Club, and we're entertaining bids around the €40 million mark. I think we'll be very lucky to get anything around that price tag. I think we'll be looking more around the €20 to €30 million mark, to be honest. But this comes as no real surprise to me. I like Guendouzi. I like his flair when he's on the pitch. He's a very intense player, but I don't really know what type of player he is. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder. He doesn't score goals, doesn't provide assists. Well, they're few and far between. And he doesn't really break up play. But he is a player who's very good to bring on when we're chasing the game. I think his best performances this season have come when we were losing to Spurs at home and when we were losing to Villa at home, and he really brought a new dynamic to those games. But he's not someone that controls games, dictates the tempo of games, and just doesn't really work in this Arsenal system. And if he is as disruptive as we're to believe, as the reports say, then you can't have players like that at Arsenal Football Club. Not if you're trying to instill a regime, a cultural shift. And if he doesn't want to be a part of that, and if we can generate funds, then so be it. I think if we're able to get a significant return on our investment for a player that doesn't fit into our system, whether he goes on to achieve great things at another club in England or within Europe, I think it's basically irrelevant, because you can't say, he's gone on to be the next Zidane or whatever at Atletico, for example, if he goes there, because that might not have happened if he'd have stayed at Arsenal. Players just don't fit into systems sometimes, and I think we've got to accept that. He might turn into Zidane, he might turn into Flamini. Who knows? But it's interesting to see how that's played out. I honestly didn't expect him to leave the club after just 2 seasons. But as I say, if we're able to get a good return on our investment. If we're able to reinvest that into another player, I think we all know who we're talking about, Partey, who is being heavily linked to Arsenal at the minute. Be an interesting signing. I'll talk about that at another point, but it's looking positive, and I think Arsenal Football Club are doing things the right way at the moment. And yeah, I'm just generally excited. And on tonight's result, as I say, let's stay positive. Let's go into that Spurs game. Let's win that. I'll see you later, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. See you later.